Yo, Havoc Nation has arrived. What's going on, everybody? Los Angeles Havoc here, aka Laytato, the one and only high priest of the congregation. Welcome back to LaytatoClips, where we've got a little bit of everything. Puppets and stalkers. It has been quite a bit of time since we've done any Lies of P content on the channel, and with the new DLC on the horizon, now's as good a time as any to pick up where we left off. Some new information has been made available following a preview event in the Lies of P Discord. I like to typically go into things a bit blind, so I won't be referring to any story elements that Overture may have. Instead, in today's video, we will be going over what players can expect when they return to KRAT and begin this new chapter of the story. First off, as we got to see in the trailers, Lies of P Overture will feature some new weapons, including a gunblade that looks like it was pulled right out of Final Fantasy VIII, a bow, which will be the game's first truly ranged option, and also a pair of long claws, channeling your inner Wolverine, if you will. In addition, there are other new weapons that are similar to the archetypes already featured in the game, as well as 2 new Legion arms that players can utilize. One seems to be described as similar to a shotgun, according to an article from The Gamer, while the other apparently shoots out moving saws that deal continuous damage to enemies and can be activated multiple times in succession. The saw mechanic of the second arm will also allow for the saws to be picked up and fired again, but players will need to be mindful of overheating, which I imagine will have some sort of gauge to track, much like the weapons have the sharpness gauge. There will be new enemy types featured, but I won't say too much on that in case you'd rather save those experiences for when Overture arrives. That said, I've linked the article in the description for those of you that would like some more information. Now, a rather surprising announcement from Neowiz recently was the reveal that alongside Overture's release, Lies of P as a whole will be receiving a free update to introduce new difficulty options, a rare feature for games within the Souls-like genre. In an article by VideoGamesChronicle.com, the game director, Jiwon Choi, was quoted as stating, "We wanted to make sure a wider audience of players could play the game. So by making development adjustments and introducing these difficulty options, we can offer the experience to different types of players. This broadens the base." With this update, the game will gain 2 new difficulty options: Butterfly's Guidance and Awakened Puppet. The game's default difficulty will now be called Legendary Stalker. Now, I personally applaud this move, as any development choices dedicated to make the game more approachable to a wider variety of players only allows for more people to experience this incredible story without a perceived barrier to entry. Honestly, it's a barrier that's often created by just the reputation of Souls games and Souls-likes more often than actually being any actual barrier to begin with. Even when I mentioned that I play these games, I've had folks ask about my experience because they'd heard the games are unforgiving and or they don't have the patience to work through the challenges like they do for other kinds of games. That being said, Lies of P, Black Myth Wukong, First Berserker Kazan, Elden Ring, and more are all amazing games and experience in their own ways and should be able to be enjoyed by anyone that wants to give them a try. That's just my 2 cents on the difficulty conversation. Lastly, getting back to Lies of P Overture, it will also introduce 2 boss rush modes. Battle Memories will allow players to replay boss fights, and there will be 5 difficulty settings to choose from, including an ultra hard mode. There will also be Death March, where players will have to take down bosses in succession with limited health and items. Both modes will have new unlockable rewards, though the specifics of them have yet to be revealed. Now, while I'm holding off really on checking out any gameplay previews and such, these new bits of information have me very excited to jump back in. I loved everything about the world when it first launched, the gameplay, the lore, and how the story unfolded, the boss fights, etc. It was the complete package, and I cannot overstate the desire I have to step back into P's shoes and see where this next journey is going to take us. What about you? Let me know in the comments how you're feeling about the changes and updates coming along with Lies of P Overture later this summer. I've reacted both to the teaser and story trailers, and we'll link those in the description as well, along with the articles that I mentioned earlier for your reading pleasure. And that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it or found it helpful, please do me a solid and give it a thumbs up. It might seem like a little bit, but it does go a long way in terms of helping the channel grow. And if you want to see more, do be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next one. Once again, my name is Los Angeles Havoc. Thank you for watching LaytatoClips. We will see you next time, friends. Same late time, same late channel.